Let us have in this first part some basic discussion regarding cloud computing. It's a very common term nowadays. In last few years, actually, in this era or age of information, or whatever we are nowadays talking about Industry 4 and all, IoT and everything. So all that is because of whatever we have is a huge amount of data transfer, information sharing, information storing, information handling, information management, all these things in association with the related data. So we are like in our older days, we were only aware about and many a times we have come across the terms like data acquisition and data logging and then database and database management. Now here is something which we want to make it much more powerful than that as our data and the user whenever demands any kind of user for any kind of work from any place any time whenever demands some sort of service some sort of information data or any other thing for any purpose, so at that time it should be made available. That is the main thing. Why the internet concept came up is for the interconnection of computers. That was in the beginning very plain, very first kind of requirement. We defined it as an interconnection or connection between and among computers with required isolation and transparency, and they all are to be allowed to work autonomously. So that was the thing. So whatever here this term is transparency isolation, uh, within practical limits, every time wherever in years together whatever advancements took place, so in the due course people followed based on the various models like network models, network architectures, different network softwares and hardwares devices were developed, and today also people are developing, and with all of them we progressed a lot in that sense. Now the responsibility is to manage data. That was the huge something very crucial part as far as networking is considered. The replication, duplication of the data and the limited access and again access mechanisms and all those things. People tried out, people worked with them with those conventional models, the traditional ways. But when it got that kind of explosion took place, then in last few years, uh, it was not possible with the existing networking kind of say uh, models and the structures and the conventional data management systems to get the service, to offer the service, and definitely the time is the biggest thing, which is a kind of a metric of performance, the throughput, the response, the ultimate outcome of the process, all kind of activities. So all that is definitely become a measurable thing, measurable issues, and they all are definitely time based. So that is also one of the most important aspect. So considering all this, there was with time one more parameter, and that was the memory, because restriction and the barrier was the memory, and another fact is time. That is nothing but the speed in other way. So whatever our system complexity and time complexity faced by a number of developers and organizations and structures, it was because of this particular fact that the storage, the space, the memory. Now, on demand, whenever it is required, it must be made available. The data must be made available. So here I would like to share a simple analogy, kind of example, that maybe in a train or by using some transport medium, public transport medium, when you are traveling. So maybe you might have done the reservation before prior, or maybe on the spot you are going to occupy seat by taking ticket. So whenever you take a ticket in bus or a train and from your source to destination, say for example, n number of other passengers, they are also there. They are traveling with you, and they may not be necessarily from the source to final destination. Like I'm talking about the bus or kind of a public transport, where n number of in between nodes are also taken care, like the general service bus kind of a thing. So there, every passenger is independently entering into the bus and leaving the bus, occupying the seat whatever is available if reservation is not there, and not at all worrying about what others are doing. Simple thing expectation is the passengers are not worried about like which place the one who is going or going to leave and for what and for why, nothing. So whenever the particular station comes or the particular location comes, then the respective passenger is going to leave the bus on that particular stop. So he on that stop going to get off. Now thanking maybe like the driver, that is nothing but the one that is a medium which is carried because of that driver, and it is something like this. So cloud is like that bus. Cloud computing kind of a mechanism is like that bus. Your system or your demand is fulfilled, like different users. You are also one of the user and allows to get, you're allowed to get the service of that bus, same fashion service of the that particular cloud. That cloud is going to provide you the service. It's a simple mechanism. It is a service basically. It is based on different requirements. It is based on different say kind of categories or types. Now our main objective is to go through the very basic things about cloud computing in this first part. So cloud computing can be defined as delivering computing power, CPU, RAM, network speed, storage, OS, software, everything, like a service over a network. It is basically a service, usually on the internet, rather than physically having the computing resources at the customer location. Like for example, we use very well known kind of services like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and a number of others. So this is a simple model. Like whenever we call it as a cloud or the term cloud, then it is part of your network design, and it is represented like as if there is a service provider and there are a number of end users, and they are going to take the data, like here say for example anything whatever is coming, so that will be provided. uh, the design is maybe anything, the requirement may be anything, but there will be a huge data taken care by the respective cloud. What are the basic benefits? Why this kind of a model was proposed? It is because a number of reasons which I mentioned in the beginning, like whatever were the limitations and constraints faced by normal internet or network based applications with limited set space of the or the storage capacity of the servers. So to extend, to enhance all of them and altogether the entire infrastructure. So something that was a need and the demand, and cloud computing kind of a model has or a service has satisfied. So these are some of the benefits in the beginning itself I am listing. So there are lower IT infrastructure and computer cost for users, definitely, because it is going to give very less expenditure going to involve. Then improved performance, fewer maintenance issues, instant software updates, improved compatibility between operating systems, backup and recovery, performance and scalability, increased storage capacity, and increased data safety. This is also very important fact about cloud computing. In general, when we talk about cloud, so a number of services we expect. These three are the major three services, like SaaS, PaaS, and the third one is IaaS. In general, if we talk about cloud computing, with increase in the computer and mobile users, data storage has become priority, no doubt, all of you must agree. large and small scale businesses today, they are also in the need of the huge amount of data and a huge amount of economy, kind of money involved in all that. So it requires strong IT support and definitely the storage. In general, uh, cloud computing has become a cheaper kind of a solution which is going to look after a number of requirements like efficient storing of the data is going to get less maintenance, and it is going to attract all kind of users. So that is also one advantage from business point of view we get from cloud computing. It decreases hardware and software demand from the user side. The user must be able to run its is the cloud computing system interface software, and it can be a simple web browser. So the cloud network takes care of rest of all the things. Whatever we experienced cloud computing at some instant of a time, some of the popular cloud services, so we are using them like one of the most popular mailing service at Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo. While accessing email service, our data is stored on cloud server and not on our computer. The technology and infrastructure behind the cloud is invisible. It is less important whether cloud services are based on HTTP, XML or PHP or whatever technology. It has to be user friendly and it should provide all the functionality. An individual user can connect to cloud system from his or her own desktop or laptop or mobile. So this is the basic advantage which we get. As far as cloud computing is considered, then from services point of view, so mainly important tasks like account, sales, planning, and a number of other things like from the entertainment world and research and some sort of collaborative works and defense. So everywhere there is a huge data, and we want all that to be handled properly. And for that purpose, mainly there are three services offered by cloud. Like simple, when we traditionally think about a software, so this is a software as a service which we expect. So that is nothing but software as a service, SaaS. It is installed on your computer, the type of the software which you want for the particular application, and instead of purchasing each and every one, there are a number of freewares also available. Anyone who need an access to particular piece of software can subscribe as a user, and whether it is one or two people or every thousands employees or whatever. So a common platform kind of a software may be developed and it is provided, and which it is compatible with all kind of internal say devices and appliances. So many important tasks like general tasks in the organization or in any such e-commerce related applications, service providers and all, they can have such common softwares, and that can be a service for that organization. That is nothing but for accounting or planning or invoice and all other things. Simple. This is first one, that is SAS. Second one is platform. Like in the second figure you can see, so this can be compared with your simple kind of just a small picture is shown as a painting class, where the teacher gives you paints, brushes, and as a platform to create your own painting. So it's a freedom. It is a platform as a service. It provides a platform and environment. Whatever development, whatever application you want to build, whatever kind of a service you want to provide, you can provide or you can get. That also is possible. So the service is hosted in the cloud and accessed by the users via internet. Simple term, that is that computer like say kind of a application, and it is shared or it is made available to each and everyone. So it is constantly updated. New features are added in case of platform based services. Software developers, web developers and business, they all are going to get benefit out of it. It provides platform to support application development, It includes software support and management services, storage, networking, deploying something, some models, that is testing, then collaborating, hosting, and all kind of applications they are to be maintained, platform based service. So very important. And the third one is infrastructure based service, that is infrastructure as a service. So this is one of the fundamental service model of cloud computing alongside your platform as a service model. It provides access to computing resources in the virtualized environment. So here virtualization concept is the most primemost part of cloud computing. We will be discussing on it afterwards. So the cloud on the internet is very important. It provides computing infrastructure like virtual server space, network connections, bandwidth, load balancers, IP addresses, n number. The pool of hardware resource is extracted from multiple servers and networks, usually distributed across numerous data centers. This provides redundancy and reliability of infrastructure as a service. Very important model as far as the real-time applications and the real-world demands are considered. Now let us move to the fact that is related with types of cloud. There are mainly four types, that is private cloud. Here simple computing resources are deployed for one particular organization. This method is more used for intra-business interactions where the computing resources can be governed, owned and operated by the same organization. Then second one is community cloud. Here computing resources are provided for a community and organizations. Then third one is a public cloud. This type of cloud is used usually for business to consumer type of interactions. Here the computing resources owned, governed and operated by government, maybe any particular academic or business organization. So the public cloud may be maintained by different organizations. And then the fourth one is hybrid cloud. This type of cloud can be used for both type of interactions, that is business to business as well as business to consumer. Popularly it is abbreviated as B2B or B2C type of interactions. This deployment model or method is called hybrid cloud, as the computing resources are bound together by different clouds. Different types of clouds may be involved in that, not of same category. In general, if you look at the architecture of the cloud, then this is very straightforward. There will be web browser as a front end, and there are like web application servers, n number of servers, database servers and all, and that is nothing but your backend, very plain. So backend refers to cloud itself. It comprises of resources that are required for cloud computing services. It consists of virtual machines, servers, data storage devices, security mechanisms, very important, and all that is under service provider control. Cloud computing distributes the file system that spreads over multiple hard disks and machines. Data is never stored in one place only, and the case one until fails, the other will take over automatically. That is, backup is provided. The user disk space is allocated on the distributed file system, while another important component is the kind of algorithm which is used for resource allocation. That is also very important mechanism. Cloud computing is strong distributed environment, and it heavily depends upon strong algorithms. The algorithm developed for cloud computing applications are very important from software development related to cloud as far as is considered. The most popular terms like grid and utility. So these are the two things which directly gets associated with cloud. So many a times because kind of electric electricity is something is the biggest, hottest issue as far as industry and the real world is considered. So grid is something which is directly compared with cloud computing. Computing grid is compared to electricity grid where it spans through a network to provide its service. This picture is showing you how exactly the distribution is done. Transmission and distribution system, very popular model. So from places to places, maybe to heavy industry, to light industry, to towns, to villages, to remote places, to farms. So from the power station, it is as if distributed. So this is a grid, and it also involves a kind of computing. Same manner, there is a adjacent model you can see. There is a internet. There are computer cluster, so front end node, and n number of nodes connected via Ethernet, and that front end node connected to internet, and there may be the user. So like the way in electric domain, so the way it is realized similarly, but here that will be not limited one as a just a supply of electricity, but the demand based services, the demand based data. When we switch on fan or any electric device, we are less concerned about the power supply, from where it comes and how it is generated. Like it is our usual daily practice. The power supply or electricity that we receive at our home travels through a chain of network, which includes power station, transformer, power lines, transmission stations, and n number. These components together make a power grid, and the associated infrastructure is linked with a kind of a computing mechanism, and that is called grid computing. The resources such as PCs, servers, workstations, and storage elements, and provides the mechanism required to access them. So it's very close. Grid computing is a middleware to coordinate disparate IT resources across the network, allowing them to function as whole. It is more often used in scientific research and universities for educational purpose, like group of architecture students or engineering students, or maybe from some other discipline, some students, they are working together, kind of a multidisciplinary work. Then they need to access different design tools, and the entire problem is to be solved. So at that time they will get the such facilities, different platforms and the services. So to make available all that there may be a kind of a grid, and via that grid they all may get connected. Like in the big university campus, some may be belonging to some other department, some other sections, and all of them commonly may work on the platform, and maybe as and when required they may interconnect and interact. So there comes a kind of a grid, and this grid is going to provide the necessary service. Slightly there is a kind of a differentiation. These are some of the facts as far as cloud computing and grid computing is considered. Cloud computing works more as a service provider for utilizing computer resource. Grid computing uses the available resource and interconnected computer systems to accomplish the common goal. Cloud computing is centralized model, grid computing is decentralized model, where the computation cloud occur over many administrative models. Cloud is a collection of computers usually owned by a single party, whereas grid is a collection of computers which is owned by multiple parties in multiple locations and connected together so that users can share the combined power of resources. Cloud offers more services, almost all the services like web hosting, database, support, and much more. Like grid provides limited services. Cloud computing is typically provided within single organization, like say for example the most popular Amazon. Grid computing federates the resources located within different organizations. The same way, there is a concept called utility computing. Nowadays, it is very popularly used in the field of electrical engineering. So, utility computing refers to the ability to charge the offered services and charge customers for exact usage. Whatever these electrical people are following the model, and nowadays the smart grid applications are based on this utility computing model. Whereas cloud computing also works like utility computing. You pay only for what you use, but cloud computing might be cheaper as such cloud-based app can be up and running in days or weeks. Utility computing users want to be in control of geographical location of the infrastructure. In cloud computing, providers is in complete control of cloud computing services and infrastructure. Utility computing is more favorable when performance and selection infrastructure is critical. Cloud computing is great and easy to use when the selection infrastructure and performance is not critical. Utility computing is good choice for less resource demanding. Cloud computing is good choice for high resource demanding. Utility computing refers to a business model. Cloud computing refers to underlying IT architecture. So these are some of the facts associated with utility computing. We will talk on grid computing and utility computing in separate session in future. Here, to conclude, that is as a first basic part related to cloud, this is something which we have as the most feature, that is virtualization. The main enabling technology we use to call for cloud computing is virtualization. Virtualization is partitioning of single physical server into multiple logical servers. Once the physical server is divided, each logical server behaves like a physical server and can run on operating system and applications independently. Many popular companies like VMware and Microsoft provide virtualization services where instead of using your personal PC for storage and computation, you use their virtual server. They are fast, cost effective and less time consuming. For software developers and testers, virtualization comes very handy as it allows developer to write code that runs in many different environments, and more importantly to test that code, it becomes very easy. Virtualization is mainly used for three main purposes: network virtualization, server virtualization and storage virtualization. Few people also add here application virtualization. So in the next part of cloud computing, we will discuss about virtualization one by one. Thank you.